Yeah, good. You all right?
How's it going?
Yeah, good, mate.
Wicked. Rob, guitar.
Rob. Nice to meet you. How you doing,
Nick,
mate? All right?
bass.
Hello, Nick.
Charlotte, who likes cake. Who
likes cake.
Derek.
Hi, mate.
Toby.
I've heard about you.
Simon. Superb.
So what's going on then?
I don't know, I'm waiting for my dinner.
You going to show me where everything is? Or should I?
Yeah, what would you like to see?
Kitchen will be up.
Okay. Now, my kitchen's small, it's not like yours. Alright, it isn't like yours, it's a small kitchen, it's a humble kitchen. It's got an Arga in there. I don't know how you feel about it.
You got an Arga?
I have got an Arga, yeah. You come in. And can you sort yourself out in here? Is that going to be a problem?
So what's this, mate?
Underneath this lies the Tapan Hall.
The tap? Ah, right, like Japanese style.
Yeah, Japanese style.
Fantastic.
This is sort of all the dust.
You've used it a lot, haven't you? Jamie Oliver was here. Go on, mate, get back to your rehearsal, I'll clean it.
Bye then.
See you later. How cool is this place, eh? A fantastic gaff. I'm just going to kind of get myself sorted out. I'm going to do dessert first. Basically, what I'm going to do is a really sort of nice pine nut and honey tart, which is sort of like Moroccan-ish in vibe. I need a fork. Ah, I haven't brought a fork. Oh, no, that's a dish. Here we go. Lucky call. I've made some short crust pastry, yeah? Sweet short crust pastry.
How do you feel about pre-made pastry?
To be honest, if it's like just for dinner, me and my missus, a couple of friends, I just go and get a bit of pre-made, knock it out in the mould, straight in the oven, you're laughing. But, you know, special occasions and stuff, you want to sort of, like, do the real McCoy. And I lined this tart ring, 12-inch tart ring, and then I froze it. That means that when you put it into the oven, it doesn't shrink down. And what happens is when this starts cooking, the heat kind of gets under here, and it starts sort of bulbing up a little bit here. So if you just prick it around, then it lets the air out. So I'm going to pop this in the oven at about 170, 180 for about sort of 10 minutes until it's just cooked but not coloured. So to do the filling, the first thing I have to do, you need 250 grams of pine nuts. They're 100 gram a packet, so 2.5 of these. And I just want to sort of like lightly toast these. And the thing is, I'm a nightmare with like nuts. I'm always like burning the hell out of them. So I'm going to pop that in a hot oven. I just want to give them like 2 minutes. And then I've got some butter, yeah, 250 grams, which is basically a pack. And I need 250 grams of sugar. Right, butter and the sugar together. I just want a pinch of salt. Also, 4 tablespoons of honey. Use the best honey you can get. You generally get what you pay for, but you can get some nice sort of lavender honey, thyme honey. Doesn't matter if it's thick or clear. And 4. And you kind of want to cream it. Go on, my son. Basically, you're getting the butter and the sugar, and you're making it really light and fluffy, which is going to make it rise a little bit as well. So once you've done that, I've got 3 whole eggs going in, but one by one. Can you imagine? Lovely. Then we stop it. Right, what we're going to do is we need to get the flour in, 115 grams of plain flour, just to sort of bind it all together. And as soon as it's come together, stop. And that's it. Don't want to whip it anymore. Just sort of... I should do this in a bowl, really, but I can't really be bothered and I don't want to do the washing up, so get rid of that. Let me just check my pine nuts. Oh! Ah. I just caught those. I told you what I'm like. You didn't remind me either, did you? I've got some thyme. This is an optional extra, but I think it goes fantastically, you know, honey, pine nuts, and just sort of pick the tips off and put it in, just like a little handful. And then I've got an orange. Get a grater. Again, like the orange, just the zest alone, no juice or nothing, sort of just gives it a really, really awesome flavour. And I've got the pine nuts. And you just want to kind of slowly stir that together. So, let's just check my... Yeah, look at this. So, That's nice. Sometimes if there's some nice plums, apricots, strawberries, anything like that, really, just whack it in, just cut them in half or something, de-stone them, and push them in like that, and then they just cook up a treat. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Just whack this in the oven. So you want it at 170 for about 35 minutes until it's nice and golden on top and sort of just cooked and sort of soft and nice, you know? Bob's your uncle. That's perfect, yeah? It's at about, like, 37 minutes, which means it's sort of nice and golden on top, a little bit soft in the middle. The nice thing about desserts, you can do them in the morning, right? Have them hanging around all day, and then they're always nice at sort of room temperature, and tuck into them whenever you like. And like that with a little bit of creme fraiche or ice cream or some fruit, be really nice. Superb. Oh. Got this fantastic bit of meat, right? Really, really good. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's a nice 4-rib of beef, yeah? And that's not because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 bones. It's actually because it's from, like, the forefront of the animal, the forequarter. The forequarter is the correct word. And basically, I'm going to roast it up, mate. I'm going to do an awesome, awesome roast. The first thing I'm going to do, just got to get this tray on hot. I want to get some olive oil, a couple of lugs. And you want to get that tray really, really hot.
It's incredibly dark in colour, isn't it, the meat?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, honestly, this is like the Rolls-Royce, mate, of bits of meat. The most important thing when you do a roast, right, is to get really, really good bit of meat. This has been hung for about 22 days. You can see the sort of, like, the meat's almost sort of like a chocolatey brown. And when you stick your finger into it, it kind of doesn't bounce back, so you know it's going to be really, really tender when you cook it, yeah? Plus, you can see it's got nice sort of fat marbling, so when it roasts, all that fat's going to kind of, like, melt and kind of make the meat sort of, like, naturally baste it, really, and make it really, really tasty. So what I want to do is just season this really, really well. So you want a good couple of pinches of salt. Just pat it in. Pinch of pepper. And what I want to do is I want to seal the meat, yeah, which is really, really important, I think. So put it into a hot pan and actually kind of get the roasting process going. So when you put it in the oven, it's ready for it. Otherwise, if you've got a big chunk of meat like that and you just pop it in the oven, it's kind of raw meat sitting there going, oh, I'm hot, getting a bit hotter. A bit hot right now, I'm roasting, and, you know, half an hour's gone by then, so just get the old cooking going. Right, so just keep turning it around, get it nice and golden. Do the ends as well.
But they're not cheap, are they, bits of meat like that?
No, of course they're not, but you can do it smaller. And also, you know, the leftovers will make, like, the most fantastic sarnies, nice little bit of shepherd's pie, do a nice Norfolk stew or something like that. Just, you know, not one bit of that will go to waste. And this is not like an everyday... This is not roast chicken, like, knock it out on a Sunday just for you and your missus. This is like mother-in-law material. Right, little trick I've got. So I've got this lovely bit of meat. So it's not pan-frying on the bottom, right? I'm going to put the onions on the bottom, and that's going to hold the meat off the tray. Whole garlic clove, skin on. But also, when it comes to making gravy, just get rid of the fat and just, like, squash up all those onions and the garlic and stuff. You'll have the tastiest gravy in the world. So all I've got to do now is whack it in the Arga. Right, and that's cooking about 230 degrees, yeah? So we'll get that going for at least half an hour. And then I've got some whole white onions. And this is a wicked, wicked recipe, but I'm doing that later. What I'm going to do is just parboil them for about 15 minutes until they're just a bit tender. And then over here, I've got the kind of, you know, I'm doing the roast spuds, so I've just peeled them, cut them up in tight chunks, salted boiling water, boil them for 10, 15 minutes. I've just got to go and raid the garden now. There'll be nothing left by the time I'm finished.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
You should check this out.
Wow.
Have a look at these. You've got, like, Swiss chard, all from the garden. Beetroot tops. No one ever uses beetroot tops. They're fantastic. Look at Jay's carrots, mate. Ah. Short and stubby.
Short, stubby carrots. Natural, good. No pesticides.
And look at that. You don't get those in the supermarket. Look. The thing, because these are so good, we don't really have to do nothing to them. I've got one of these funny, like, old age pension sort of leather. You know, the sort of, like,
must have got out of your camper van.
Yeah. when you got stuff as good as this, like, just wash them, yeah? And the things that take the longest to cook, like the carrots, yeah, we'll just half them, salted boiling water in the bottom, and above it, like, the second next thing to cook is going to be, like, the purple sprout and broccoli. And above that, we'll have the peas, and then the one above that, we'll have the Swiss chard and the beet leaves. So, like, in 15 minutes of boiling, it's all cooked. And we don't have to do, like, anything to it, a recipe or nothing, because it's just so good. So I'm going to crack on with that in a bit. Here, Jay, do you want to give us a hand with these spuds, bro?
Do this for you.
Do you want to just drain them in this? It's hot, mate. Oh, good.
It's all right. You can kill me in my own kitchen.
Yeah. If you just drain them and chuff them up, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by chuffing?
What, just give them a little edge so they roast well?
Yeah. See, listen to Jay, like...
Well, I like the crispy bits on the end, you see. So I chuck them back in here and do that?
Yeah.
Oh, look. Let's see if they've done like that.
Give me a little... That's it. Look at that. Beautiful. So what I do, the whole idea of this, yeah, is that you chuck them in, boss.
Oh.
Have you ever seen a bit of meat so large?
Oh, that's so beautiful. So that may not get back in the oven.
Yeah.
Right. Spin those around. Do you want me to get some of those out of the way?
Yeah.
Get some space for your beef, son.
Yeah, mate. If you push those onions to the middle, sort of thing.
Push them to the middle.
Yeah.
You're going to lay it right on there.
Yeah.
OK.
Lovely.
Pucker. Get him back in there.
Lovely.
Glorious.
Nice one, mate.
You're in.
So there you go.
Oh,
basically, loads of lovely juice in. I'll tell you what I will do. I've got some rosemary from Jay's garden, right? And just sprinkle it around, because rosemary and beef's wicked.
We were quite surprised, Jay, when Jamie wanted to cook you roast beef. We thought maybe you'd want something more fancy.
No, I'm not. I'm not into exotic stuff. I mean, I'm into simple, you know, the big, lovely, nice roast chicken. I mean, your fantastic roasted chicken gets done again and again in this house. Proper joints of beef, nice bit of lamb. I'm very much a traditional, fair type of guy. I mean, you know, you've got your own fresh vegetables, got my own eggs. There's nothing like fresh eggs. I mean, these come out so beautifully, and they're all happy chickens as well. Well, except when they've been stuffed with Parma ham.
And lemon.
Yeah, Parma ham and lemon, yeah, and then they're not so happy.
No, a bit miserable. I've got a little bit of a trick here, right, which is a bit controversial, because, like...
Is it controversial?
Well, it's controversial in, like, in my world, not in yours. It's not like TV's through a window, but, like, it's ginger on beef. You know, like, lamb mint, horseradish beef,
yeah,
ginger and garlic, mate. They just go straight through it, and it's a beautiful combo and really gets in there. So, Jay, if you could get... Let me show you this thing. Like, chefs don't use these sort of things. It's like...
That's why I use one.
It's like, yeah... Do you use one? It's like asking Jay to drive an automatic, do you know what I mean? Just not fast enough, mate.
Or a camper van.
Yes, or... How dare you! It's the love wagon. What I want you to do is just fire it over everything. Okay. And what I'm going to do while he's doing that is I'm just going to peel this ginger, and that's
even
mate.
Over you as well.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And grate it over. You could use one of those guns, but I've only got one, so. But the idea is just to absolutely splat. I mean, I use about 5 cloves of garlic and about 2 finger-sized pieces of ginger. And basically, this, I think this makes all the difference. You know, if you want to muck about with something safe and traditional, like a good old bit of roasty, then this is about as adventurous as I'd get, really.
Oh. You're done, son.
Nice one. What I want to do is just pop that back in the oven, give it about another hour and a half, 25 minutes a kilo, which gets you nice and pink. Let it rest for a good half an hour, and we'll be laughing, mate. Crispy spuds.
Top oven, Mr. Oliver.
Yes, please. In it goes.
Get him in there.
Superb. So that's in the oven. All done, another hour and a half.
Genius.
Let me get me onions, and they're cooked. Just want to drain them. I've cooked them for about sort of 15 minutes on a boil. Bring them back over here. Basically, we always sort of use onions in dishes to sort of make it tastier. In stews, in curries, stir-fries, this, that and the other. And they very rarely get used as a sort of like vegetable in their own right, do you know what I mean? What I do is take the tops off like I have, and then I get the onions and I get the knife, and you just stick it in carefully at an angle. So what you're doing is you're going to kind of remove sort of a squash ball-sized chunk. You're kind of hollowing them out, basically, like that. Then I'm going to make my little filling that's going to kind of fill it. And I was trying to think, like, you know, what are the best things that I love to go with onions? So I was thinking, like, smoky bacon, like rosemary, cream, parmesan or cheese. And, like, you know, so I put this together, and it worked first time. And since then, I've never looked back, mate. Just get rid of the colander. Just chop all these little bits up. Just do that. whack that on the heat, get some nice olive oil. You want like a couple of lugs of that, just to sort of get it all going. Then a good pinch of pepper. You want a good pinch of salt. Start frying straight away. It's lovely, I love that sound. And give it a little stir. Grab a garlic clove. Just finely slice it and get them in there. And tell you what we'll do, I've got some sprigs of rosemary. I'm going to keep like 6 back, pull off the tips, just to cut them in half a little bit. We'll get that in as well, because rosemary, onions, really good combo. And like, all of a sudden it starts smelling fantastic. I've got some smoky bacon, and like just imagine sort of like onions, smoked bacon is like a wicked combo. And it's dry cured, rind off. So get an onion, and I wrap this around it. I get it all my sprues together. I want to cut them at an angle so they kind of go sharp. And all I do is literally get it and poke it through the onion like that. And you secure it like that. And look, it looks fantastic. And that smoked flavour really gets into the onion, which is lovely. Line them up. Easy as that. Another bit of onion. But I tell you what, it's fantastic cooking for JK and the boys. I tell you what, because like, I would listen to them from day one. Not being gushy or nothing, but it seems funny now. Like, I'm cooking dinner for the lot. All round, bit of a good day, really. That's it, all of those done. Bring this over. And I've got some double cream. You need about sort of like 6 to 8 tablespoons, just to kind of loosen it all, get all the flavours coming together. Let that sit for a bit. I want some Parmesan. So what I want to do is just grate like 2 big handfuls of this. And this is going to be perfect with these onions. And like, I've served these onions with fish, chicken, pork. You can use it with anything. I mean, like a nice big warm salad with one of these onions when they've got nice and crispy and golden. Just rip it open. Beautiful, mate. Parmesan shavings. Oh, I feel quite hungry now. So get some cheese in there. Give it a stir. And it's gone really claggy. Then you fill it up. Basically, all of that is going to kind of like cook straight into the onion, which is going to be lovely. And it's quite nice, really, if it sort of cooks over, because it kind of cooks all around the bacon and stuff. I mean, since I've done these, I haven't looked back, really. I've done them loads, so give me a little shimmy of Azure Father over the top, Parmesan. And that's it, beautiful, best onion dish in the world, right? And what's going to happen is when it goes in the oven, it's going to be really crispy bacon on the outside, really golden brown, cheesy on top, really, really nice onions. So all I'm going to do is leave them here until I've made up some Yorkshire batter, yeah? And then I'm going to put them both in at the same time when I've taken the meat out to let it rest and stuff like that. All done, mate, it's going to be superb, but all I'm going to do now, I'll blag the lift off JK to go on a bit of a booze cruise. The boys are outside having a couple of beers, yeah, so I want to kind of move on and get out there with them. So I need to do Yorkshire puds, yeah, and first golden rule of doing a really, really good Yorkshire pudding is you've got to get your oil really, really hot. I've got some sunflower oil, because it can take the heat, and I need about ½ centimetre of oil in each one. But what I do, because I used to do trays and trays of these all the time, fill up the top 3 completely, and then just go like that, and it goes bing, 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 right, and ends up topping them all up. I'll tell you the other trick I do is I put this in another tin that's a bit bigger, yeah? So when the fat cooks out, it doesn't go in the oven and you end up living with a, like, smoky house. So I just whack it in the oven. First job, about 230, full whack, yeah? So it's like white hot and smoking, yeah? And then what I've got to do is I've got to get the batter made. 115 grams of, like, normal plain flour. Here we go. Then we need 3 eggs, large eggs. The other thing about my recipe is that I have 1 more egg in it. And I reckon, personally, that that extra egg gives it that little bit of extra sort of lift, you know, and, you know, I do like, you know, size does count when it comes to sort of Yorkies, you know. And then I need ½ pint of milk. And we want a nice pinch of salt. And then you just whisk the old boy up. And you want to get it nice and smooth, no lumps or anything like that. Now, if you left this overnight, yeah, it will get thicker and a bit more stickier. It makes it sort of catches the air and the bubbles when the oil's getting really hot, which makes it huge, huge Yorkies. But when you make it and cook it straight away, which is a bit of a cheat, if you put a little pinch of flour in, it's cheating, but you'll make up for it. And quite frankly, I've got enough to worry about, so I'm just getting it done now. Right, so that's nice and smooth now. So just whack that in there. I need a ladle, and then check my oil. Yeah, that looks good. You can hear it, it's well hot, right? You've got to work quick, yeah? If you muck about, then your oil's going to get cold, and you won't get big Yorkies, you get floppy old small ones. Straight away it starts cooking, and that's why you want to get it into the oven as quickly as possible. Superb. Right, close the door. Don't touch it. 35 minutes, they'll get really, really big. Dark golden brown, not light golden brown, dark golden brown, yeah? And then I'm going to go out, have a drink with the boys, right? 10 minutes later, I'm going to come back, get my meat out of the oven, let it rest for about half an hour, get my veggies on, about 15 minutes until they're all tender, a little bit of butter or olive oil. Oh, got my onions, right? About 200 degrees for about half an hour. And really, that's the whole thing about roast. It's that last half an hour, bringing it all together. It's going to be really, really good. What have I forgotten? I'm sure I've forgotten something. No, that's it. Dessert done. It's going to be superb.